My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Please go ahead and share my latest Daily Caller article. It is below. It's been retweeted by the NRA. Very proud of that. And it's why I joined the NRA after writing gun control articles. That article is below. My latest segment on H.A. Second Amendment is below. I'm shooting a Glock 19 9mm, very, very popular firearm, and I can see why in the video. It's very enjoyable to, in a safe and responsible way, to shoot, and it was at the range. And share that below. That segment is below. My RT crosstalk Spygate segment is also below. So a lot of cool things happening. 51 seconds. Okay, now let's get back. Let's get into. Russia probe has cost taxpayers nearly $17 million since Mueller's appointment. In the description, in the comments section below, what could the United States government have utilized this money for? This is not, first of all, it's a lot more than 17 million, and I'll explain why after I read this article. But this is just unbelievable. Russia probe has cost taxpayers nearly $17 million since Mueller's appointment. I mean, that's $17 million that can go to veterans, to the VA. That's $17 million that can go to. I mean, there's a million different things you could think of. Taxpayers have spent nearly $17 million on the Russia probe. This is Fox News. $17 million on the Russia probe since Special Counsel Robert Mueller took over the investigation last year. This gets me a little bit frustrated, somewhat upset. Not frustrated, but upset. How could you spend this money for nothing? For Russian interference? Are you kidding me? BuzzFeed is suing the DNC. BuzzFeed could use that $17 million to protect itself from all the defamation lawsuits. It's suing the DNC because it's protecting itself from numerous defamation lawsuits. Because it published a document, the Steele dossier, that's been uncorroborated, and it's a garbage document. It's complete hearsay and gossip. And it's the dossier that not only started Trump's probe, but also started the Mueller investigation. And somebody, what was it? There was a comment on the RT segment. It was like, H.A. Goodman, don't you understand that they were investigating because somebody rammed their mouth and got drunk? Yeah, that's my point. That's stupid. If somebody goes ahead and gets drunk, George Papadopoulos or Alexander Downer, why would you trust that person, number one, and why would you trust them or confuse someone's gossip and hearsay as evidence? When, let's say, like an inmate's testimony is used to go ahead and put away a murderer, and they say, oh yeah, that person, I spoke to that person did it. Okay, God forbid, there's an actual body that's been, a human being's been murdered, an act, a crime, evidence linking the person, some kind of evidence, and if they need that extra evidence, they'll go ahead and, okay, of course there are egregious cases where too much hearsay is used. That's bad also. But there's no predicate crime. There's no crime here. And number one. Number two, even if Trump colluded with Russia, well, he didn't. But even if Trump colluded with Russia, Hillary Clinton, nobody's talking about her collusion. Nobody's talking about the millions funneled through Perkins Coie, her law firm, into Fusion GPS and Orbis, which is Christopher Steele's company. So this $17 million, and it's a lot more too, actually. So Russia probe has cost taxpayers nearly $17 million since Mueller's appointment. About $10 million was spent between October and March, the document states. See, October, November, December, January, February, March. So $10 million in 6 months. Sorry. But he was appointed, what, last March? Or last May? When was, okay, so May. What? That's a little bit ridiculous. About $10 million was spent between October and March. So, new spending report released by, Justice Department. So this is the, you can actually, this is the new spending report by the Department of Justice. About $10 million was spent between October and March, the document says. Document states that includes $4.5 million spent on Mueller's team, 13 of which are hardcore Democrats, many of whom gave, over 40, close to 50,000, I think over $50,000 in total to Democrats and to Clinton. That includes $4.5 million spent by Mueller's team and another $5.5 million spent by the Justice Department on other expenditures attributable to the investigations. Whiteout, pens, paper, copy paper, the usual that costs $5.5 million. And what do they... But you know what? This is interesting. 17 million in a year. 17 million. But these are Justice Department attorneys. It's not like they're going to a law firm. This is a profanity alert. Do not listen if you don't want to hear profanity. Don't listen if you don't want to hear profanity. What the fuck is $17 million being spent for, or why, or why the hell is $17 million being spent when you don't have, this is not an outside law firm. These are Department of Justice attorneys, or Mueller's attorneys that work for the DOJ. Or the U.S. government, I should say. Okay? The department will continue to dedicate and leverage resources to maintain strong program and financial management controls. Oh, that's good. Thankfully, they're controlling themselves in terms of financial management. It's only cost $17 million, and they've indicted, Dutch lawyers and, oh my God, internet trolls who are now fighting back, which is going to cost more money. Could you imagine? The internet trolls are like, nah, we're not going to, no, we didn't do anything. And furthermore, prove to us that we influenced one person's vote, Mueller, and we used Facebook. Why don't you go after them? The interesting thing about all of this also is that Facebook and Twitter are said to have facilitated this, yet they're in the pocket of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has a zero organic social media movement. Nothing organic in terms of social media. There's no I mean, maybe I'm sure there are, but it's not a widespread thing where, because you have CNN, MSNBC, you have these, you don't really need social media if you're like this hardcore Hillary bot. So then they say, oh my God, they influenced the election. Most of the ads were seen after November 8, 2016. Michael Moore went to an anti-Trump rally because of the Internet Research Agency, the 13 indicted Russian internet trolls. We can go on forever. The NSA is moderately confident. The DNC never gave its computer service to the FBI. It was almost certainly not a hack. It was a leak. We know from the brilliant work of Disobedient Media's Elizabeth Voss, cybersecurity analyst Adam Carter, the forensicator, Bill Binney, Ray McGovern, NSA, CIA, officials, legends, and the intelligence community. It's download speeds and other reasons. The whole thing's a bunch of nonsense. Russia got 20% of U.S. uranium capacity from President Obama's administration while Clinton was there. They're not worried about Clinton. She would have been more hawkish than Trump in Syria, but again, Putin is friends with Bill Clinton. So the department will continue to dedicate and leverage resources to maintain strong program and financial management controls. Okay. Mueller was appointed special counsel in May 2017 by Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. Previously, the Justice Department said that during the May-September period, the investigation cost nearly $7 million. May, June, July, August, September. What? $7 million for 5 months? This is a profanity alert. What the fuck were they doing for 5 months? $7 million for 5 months? $7 million for 5 months. Again, this is not like some law firm, this high-priced law firm. These people get, base salaries from the United States government. You don't go to a teacher and say, "Oh, you're doing that project. We'll give you." Teachers don't get this. Are they getting? If you work for the post office, why are they getting so much money for just 5 months of work? $7 million. That sum included $3.2 million in direct special counsel expenses. Okay, what? And $3.5 million for other DOJ expenses, covering costs like agents working on raids. Okay, or interviews and other government contractors. I'm going to call, this is a profanity alert. I'm going to call BS. No need for a profanity alert. Government contractors? What government contractors are needed in an investigation for a crime that we don't even know happened, based on the fact that there were too many government, quote-unquote, government contractors or people outside government infiltrating the government? Government contractors, so the whole investigation is that people outside the U.S. government influenced our democracy. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and outsource people to find out who Trump outsourced to influence our democracy. Oh my God, please. This, the Democratic, but 3.7 points up. I checked today. Republicans need to destroy them. I'm not even really, a hardcore conservative, although I do like the Second Amendment, gun rights, Second Amendment advocate. I am a Second Amendment advocate. And I was, very happy. I'm part of Gun Owners of America and the NRA, and just shot safely and responsibly a Glock. And another great firearm that will be the segment I upload next. Anyway, so I'm not 100% conservative on a whole bunch of issues, but Republicans need to sweep again the House and Senate. You cannot reward people within the Democratic Party. Oh, here we go. Here's the breakdown. Personnel compensation and benefits, $2,738,000 just between October and March. What? Personnel compensation? Are you serious? You have to. This Fox News article is below. Please go ahead and share. It's in the description section. Personnel compensation and benefits, almost $3 million from October 1st to March 31st. October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months. For 17 people, 16, 17 people, $2 million. Okay. Oh, sorry, $3 million, almost $3 million. For only, what, 5-6 months of work? Are you kidding? And these are 13 Democrats that hardcore travel, transportation of things, rent, communications, and utilities. What is it like? Contractual services, rent, communication, utilities, $886,000. Travel, $532,000. Supplies and material. I'm going to call bullshit on this. Sorry, profanity alert. Profanity alert. This is bullshit. $29,694 in supplies and materials from October, November, December, January, February, March for 6 months. You got $5,000 worth of supplies and materials. $5,000 a month. What are you? How many pens are you losing? $5,000 in supply. We're not talking about like new computers. Supplies and materials. Supplies? Legal pads? whatever. It's all a bunch of baloney anyway. Obviously, they're lying to us, so it's like, why do I even care? Acquisition of equipment, 54,000. Acquisition of equipment, 54,597. Total, 4,506,000. So, does not include the 5.5 million spent by the Justice Department and other expenses related to the Russia probe. Oh, that's good. Oh, it doesn't include that. Interesting. What about all the money spent by the CIA, NSA, and FBI to hide all of this? There's the Russia probe, and then there's all the hiding and all the, circumventing of Devin Nunes and Gowdy and all of them who want Chuck Grassley, who want information. So this is obviously a bunch of nonsense, as usual. $17 million in taxpayer money. Doesn't even make sense, but for about 6 months of work, the Mueller team is getting paid $3 million. Must be really nice to fabricate, to just indict people that have nothing to do with Trump Russia. Which is also a completely fabricated thing. He didn't work with Russia. In 2015, in the Hill, the Huffington Post, and Salon, I said Clinton could not win. Clinton could not win. Mueller is investigating Russia's attempted interference in the 2016 election. A bunch of nonsense. The NSA is moderately confident for a reason. Nobody's certain of anything. We shouldn't even be discussing this or addressing this from the federal government's perspective. Maybe like some kind of, if they wanted to investigate, not, like a small little department, but not this whole Mueller nonsense because of Comey's notes. Are you kidding? And whether there was any collusion with the Trump campaign officials. So no collusion. The investigation also ensnared other Trump officials. Entrapped. So I don't know why this is written this way. Like former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, who did nothing wrong, and who James Comey and McCabe said he didn't lie about anything. They also wiretapped Flynn, and he didn't lie about anything. And there was nothing there. There's no evidence of anything. Like the statement they've made, there's no evidence to back up. Oh, collusion. Okay, no evidence. But there's evidence of Hillary Clinton. The Steele dossier was compiled from Russian sources. Okay. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. This is just a whole bunch of nonsense. $17 million for like most of which came within a 6-month period. Unbelievable. Definitely check out my Daily Caller article, but definitely also check out my latest on HA Second Amendment. It is of me enjoying safely and responsibly and by YouTube guidelines my Glock 19. Well, not mine. Just for the record, the 500 Smith & Wesson revolver, 10.5-inch barrel. I own that. But the other firearms that I use, that's from a range in Los Angeles. But anyway, if you have like registration, your licensed gun owner and all that stuff, you can go ahead and rent different firearms at the range. It's pretty cool. So I'm doing that, and it's absolutely wonderful. I will be getting somebody to videotape me like I did prior for some segments, for a lot more segments. But generally, I just have the tripod, and you'll get the kind of like the first-person view of the firearm, which I think looks cool. But give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. It's $17 million. No problem. $17 million. Give me your thoughts. Thank you so much for listening. Definitely also check out my RT segment with Spygate. And if you want to support this channel, H.A. Goodman on Patreon. If you want to support H.A. Goodman Second Amendment, there's a Patreon link for that as well below in the pinned comment. And also, free Julian Assange, my article in the Daily Caller prior to the one about the NRA. Thank you so much for listening. $17 million. Thank you.